My name is Barbara Shellhammer. I go by Bobby. I'm here to help assist in the hauntings that has been accounted for here at the Playhouse for many, many years. I have helped police officers in search for missing people. Sometimes I've given them advice, which has definitely helped them. Tonight when I was here, I actually was able to pick up on some negative and positive energy that seems to be flowing throughout the building. This is the beginning of our tour. This is the lobby. This is the main entrance coming into the Titusville Playhouse. This is where everyone comes in. You get your brochures. It's going to tell about all the plays. You have your drinks in your bar over here. We're going to be entering the main lobby. The auditorium seats at least 300 people, and right now they are doing the play called Cabaret. And we're coming down here. You can see how nice it looks in here. They keep a Victorian style decor. And everything has been turned completely off. There is no air coming in here. But as you can see, we have a lot of movement here. During the course of the night, we've been keeping an eye on the stage. At times it'll go real fast, the curtains here, and other times it'll move slow. Let's see if we can pick up some more activity.
This is where we get a lot of stuff right in here, since a lot of activity was right in here. And here's a lot of activity in here. Look at all the difference in the temperature back here.
I knew that it was built in the 1900s, and at the time it was built as a hotel and a brothel. And then later on, it was known as the Magnolia Theater. And I know that this is where they put on the first silent movies, was here. Then later on, it became the Florida Theater. And as a child, I used to come here for the movies because this is the only movie theater we had in town. And then it closed down, and for 10 years it was vacant until the Titusville Playhouse Company came in, restored it, and it was donated. A lot of money was donated by the parishes, and it was dedicated as the Emma Parish Theater. And as today, it has a lot of plays and productions done here. Parish, she was related to Jesse Parrish, and he was one of the ones that donated over $150,000 to help renovate and restore the Titusville Playhouse to bring it back up into production.
My name is Maggie Hessinger, and I'm the technical director here. So I build the props and the sets and design everything and paint everything and costumes, lights, sound. My very first day here, I worked for myself, and I was building on stage, and I kept hearing people talking, like people at a party, people conversing in the lobby. So I'd walk out and nobody would be there. And I'd hear women walking down, there's a hallway, and I'd hear women walking down it like in tap shoes or high heels. And there's never anybody there.
Yes, there's been two stories that I have heard. One, I heard there was a lady and a gentleman that were married, and apparently there was marital problems. They separated. She went to live with her mother, which was very unheard of back then. Her and this other gentleman were dating and were coming out of this theater, which was known as the Magnolia Theater at the time. And the lady's husband apparently came around the corner and shot and killed this gentleman. I also heard that he was not shot outside, but I also heard he was shot in the hallway here.
One day, I was working in the shop with my assistant, the girl who felt a lot of different things. And we were walking, there's an area where the stage manager works, and we were walking past that, and all of a sudden we were walking in the hallway. we have these doors that go into the dressing rooms, and they're very heavy. They're old fire doors that kept the building closed, that would close by themselves, that would go into the original brothel. And the door opened by itself, and they open out into the hallway. And like I said, they're very heavy. Wind doesn't blow these doors. They're very heavy. All of a sudden, the door opened by itself, and it looked like a man reaching behind the door to close it. So we thought maybe someone was opening the door and then just decided they wanted to turn around and walk out. So we walk up there, and there's nobody in the dressing room. And it was weird because when the door opened, it looked like light, like the dressing room was on, and then when we went up there were no lights on. So we went to the office lady and asked her who was here, and she said that we were the only people in the building, that nobody had been in the building in hours.
I had heard a lot of people, it was known as Sin City, because at the time you did have the brothel house, you had saloons, you had a lot of drinking, and there was a lot of crime.
There's a man up in the corner who is unhappy. I heard that before you guys came in. He'd been rumored to push people down the stairs. People feel like they're getting nudged. I've heard of a little girl and a little boy, and on the headsets, when you're running a show and it gets really quiet, you can hear a little girl laugh sometimes. So I don't use the headsets because that would freak me out. I've never heard that, though. There have been many instances where people have been up in the booth and they'd say, honey, you got to go back downstairs, and there'd be nobody there. They'd walk out, and it's always the little girl. There's a little boy on stage that's mischievous. A lot of times we'll come in and the lights are on and we turned them off the night before. Things are unplugged, light bulbs are out, things are moved, and that happens a lot on the stage, right area of the stage. And then there's something in the shop that is just weird. It makes you feel not very good. It makes you feel unhealthy. And then in the hallway, I don't know what it is, but there's like a man in the hallway.
It's definitely haunted. There was no doubt that it is. And I definitely agree with them because I myself and some other people, psychics, have picked up on the same energies. So, yeah, I think they're accountable, and you can, definitely take their word for it. That is definitely haunted.
I have no problems being in the building. I don't like being by myself, even in the daytime. I will, of course. I'll work in the daytime, but I will not work in the theater by myself after 10. I won't be here after 10 at all. I always have my husband or a friend with me. It's terrifying. My assistant and I were working in here, and every door in the building closed at the same time, and we ran. Being here in the daytime, but at night I do not like being here. And the difference is, it feels different. I don't know if you guys felt the difference between a whole group of people being here, and then when everybody left, it's creepy.